Yo guys, what's up? Sleepio here. So even though the PvP is a mess, there are still a lot of people who play it and look for builds. Today I wanted to show you my PvP build, and even though I personally don't play PvP anymore, not really at least, it's still not too hard to figure out what's good and what's bad. So a lot of the builds, or the PvP builds, they only focus on armor and just being able to survive, but my build isn't that standard build, I would say. So no Unbreakable or Bloodsucker build, as you can already see. My build is actually good, not like most of the other PvP builds I've seen so far. But hey, that's just my personal opinion. So let's start with the specialization first, as always. So for PvP, I decided to go for the gunner specialization. I think it's definitely more beneficial than any other specialization because, well, the only reason I don't play that in PvE is because of that talent that gives you armor back on kill. And since it's a berserk build, you don't want armor. You want to be on no armor or low armor at least, and not regenerate the armor. That's why I'm also not playing clutch on that build. But yeah, that talent is just really, really bad, and I wish you could skip it somehow. But if you want that reload speed and that medkit, you need to spec at least 1 point into that. So yeah, that's a little downside, but for PvP it's not the biggest deal because you don't chain kill players like NPCs, right? You can't find that many at once. So yeah, that's that. The gunner specialization gives you that nice reload speed though. Every third reload is 50% faster. That's basically like 16.6% reload speed, so not too bad. You also get that insane armor kit, pretty good, but obviously it gives you armor, so you probably won't use that too much. But yeah, sometimes you definitely use armor kits, even in PvP with a berserk build. The foam grenade is completely useless, so let's not talk about that. Signature weapon is also useless for PvP because you can't have it. And yeah, well, as on all the specializations, you can have all the weapon damage types, so yeah, that's just AR damage for an AR build. You also have the barrage talent, which increases your rate of fire on kill. Not by much and not for long, but at least a little buff. The ammo is kind of useless. I never run out of ammo. Weapon handling is nice, but you don't really stand still in PvP either, so not too good. And yeah, the reduced crit chance in conflict, everybody has that. And the Banshee Pulse is not something I would play in that build either, but it's definitely an option. It's definitely an option. Okay, now to the actual build. As always, let me start with my guns. So as main gun, I'm running the Eagle Bear, but I know most people don't have that, so there's definitely other options for an AR build. But I will quickly show you the talents. I will not even read them out because the description is quite long. And as I said, a lot of people will never be able to get it because they are too bad for the raid, I guess, or don't have friends. I don't know. One of those you can choose, you know. But the Eagle Bear is definitely the best gun in the game. You know, I think I said it a few times already. But yeah, Eagle Bear, if you have it, for sure, play it. If you don't have the Eagle Bear, then just play a P416 with a Ranger and not Measured. Measured is shit. So, since you have 9, 10, you should just play Ranger, because you can't have Optimist, and Strained without crit chance is not that good either. And yeah, second talent, always Allegro. It's the only talent, only passive talent that actually increases your DPS. Probably Extra is also alright, but Allegro is definitely better. Passive talent as always doesn't really matter. As a mods, I have the ACOG right now, because sometimes I swap to the Nemesis, or if you don't have the Eagle Bear, I would suggest running the Nemesis as secondary with the ACOG scope. That works. I don't know, you can also run accuracy scope if you don't have the Nemesis or don't wanna play that. That also works. As a mech, I have the sturdy extended mech. That's a 20 round mech. You get that from weekly projects or those daily projects that give you blueprints. So it's just RNG if you get it or not. And as grip and muzzle, I just have plus 10% accuracy because it's a PvP build and that's the only two good things here. To my gear now. And as always, I will start with the two gear sets I have. So I'm running the True Patriot 2-piece, the mask and the gloves. I will explain in a second why the mask and the gloves and not mask and knee pads, what I normally run. But it's pretty simple why I decided to do it that way. So on the mask, you just want a high health roll as high as possible, and then crit chance, because damage release is not that useful for PvP. Even though if you run in occupied, there is a lot of NPCs running around, so you maybe just go damage release since it's not really a crit build. But I have crit chance on other pieces, so the crit chance is not too bad. I think I have 25% actually with that build. So yeah, the crit chance is not too bad here. But the health is definitely the important part. And the gloves, they're also, as I said, True Patriot. The 2-piece bonus of that is, by the way, 10% damage to armor. It's pretty good buff, because that damage bonus is on top of all your other damage. So if you have Berserk active and all your weapon damage bonuses, that's on top of that. So damage to armor is really good. Definitely important for a PvP build, I think. On the gloves, you want kind of the same. You want high health, and then more importantly, actually, assault rifle damage as high as possible. I think I just rolled 10 on here because I didn't want to destroy my only gloves with 11 or 12, because I have them for a PvE build, since PvE is more important in this game than PvP. But yeah, AR damage and health on the gloves. And the reason I'm not running True Patriot on the knee pads is because the knee pads have always offensive stat, so they can't have health, and that's basically 20k health loss. And they also have only one defensive mod. The Gila Guard knee pads I'm running right now, they have 2. So that's like 30k health overall that I would lose if I just run those knee pads. And I don't think that's worth it for just precise or devastating on the gloves, because that's really the only thing you lose, right? I could play, I don't know, Murakami gloves, those Murakami gloves, you know, with devastating or precise, and then I would get a little bit more health and the other talent, but I don't think it's worth to lose that much HP for that. Talking about HP, I guess I explain my stats before I go over the rest of the pieces. So as you can see, I have quite a big combined health pool, 200k armor and 310k health. And yeah, with a Berserk build, you obviously want to stack health, and that high health is pretty damn good. I already tested that build a little bit in PvP. Sadly, I didn't record it, otherwise I would have shown the footage. But yeah, I kind of forgot to record that. It is pretty good. I played against a few guys with Bloodsucker, and yeah, obviously they get a 25% armor for Bloodsucker once when they deplete your armor. But that's the goal, you know? You kind of want them to deplete your armor, because your armor is not even your main health pool. You know, your armor is 200k, your health is 300k. As soon as the armor breaks, you get 50% more damage and occupied because of Berserk. And yeah, they basically have no more chance, because 300k HP is still quite a lot. I can tell you that, and you don't die that easy with 300k HP, especially if you pop the defender drone at the right moment. So yeah, let's get into the chest. As you can see, it's the wrong chest, sadly. It has a utility slot. You want those chests with an offensive mod slot, or the ones with a defensive one. Both of them are alright. Obviously, offensive one would be better, but I don't have a single Fenris chest with Vital, Berserk, and, well, either offensive or defensive mod slot. But that one is not too bad, because as you can see, my health roll here on nearly 53k health, which is quite high. I also have 8% weapon damage, which could be a lot higher, obviously, but, you know, better 8 than none. I also don't have headshot damage here, which would be beneficial for a PvP build. But, yeah, as I said, I really want Vital on the chest, and not something like hard hitting, because I have better chests like that one, but that one just has hard hitting, and yeah, as you can see, if I would use that, my health is just down by 100k, because first of all, the health roll is not that high, and I don't have a Vital. Vital is pretty important. The good thing about the chest is that, yeah, the utility mod slot I can mod with reload speed, which is, well, obviously not comparable to more weapon damage or more health for a Berserk build, but it's not too bad. Having some extra reload speed is definitely nice, but as I said, the other chests would be way better for the build. My holster is a Gila Guard holster, and there's 2 options for the holster and the backpack that you could play with the build, that I would actually prefer if I had the perfect pieces for that. But right now I'm playing the Gila holster and backpack for one reason, because my Araldi backpack, I will show you that in a second, is not too good. So Gila Guard is pretty good anyways though, because the Gila Guard holster, that one, has 2 offensive mod slots, which is basically 12% more damage, and that's pretty damn good. On that one, you just want health as high as possible. The crit chance doesn't matter. I have a little bit here, because that's my PvE holster as well, but the health is definitely more important. The other option, the one I would prefer, would be Araldi 2-piece, so Araldi on the holster and the backpack, because Araldi, it doesn't have the crit chance, which you don't need, but it has a passive talent, which could be precise or devastating, which is pretty nice for PvP, and it also has at least one offensive mod slot, so you basically lose an offensive mod slot and gain a talent, which is a good trade. Well, and you get 10% headshot damage if you have the 2-piece. But as I said, the backpack, my Heraldi backpack, I have multiple, but that one would be the best one, I guess. That one has a little bit low weapon damage, only 6.5, that's not too good. 15k health is alright, but could be higher. I have one with like 38k. But yeah, that's not too good. And I had to reroll Vital here, and yeah, that's a big deal. Because rerolling talents is never good. It's just not good. Because as I said, I could have way more health or weapon damage here, which I don't have now, and that's why I'm not using the backpack. Because my Gila Guard backpack is pretty good, I think. That one has higher weapon damage, a bit lower health, but it has Vital already, and it also has a defensive mod slot. The Heraldi also has a offensive, but the Gila Guard also has an offensive, so you don't really lose anything there. But you would gain the defensive mod slot, which is 10k health in my case. And that's why the Gila Guard for me right now is better. But as I said, I would prefer to have 2-piece Heraldi instead of 2-piece Gila Guard here. And my knee pads, they are also Gila Guard. That's just the knee pads with the highest health roll I have. That's nearly 25k. That's the highest I've seen so far. Sadly, they have hard hitting, but there's not many good talents for PvP on the knee pads anyway, so it's not a big deal. I also have Murakami knee pads. I just tested those. But with those, I actually have less health because they have less health as attribute. And they also have only one defensive mod slot. And even though I get 8% extra health from the gear set, or from the brand set, I would end up with less health than I have right now. That's why I'm still with the Gila Guard knee pads. Just because I get more health overall if I use them. Just because I get more health overall than with Murakami right now. And yeah, again, on those you have 2 defensive mod slots, just get some extra health here. I have pretty good health mods, I think, so my health is quite high on all those defensive mods, right? To my skills. So for PvP, I would always run the Booster Hive, because the Reviver Hive is not really good in PvP. Sure, it deploys itself when you go down, but the time it needs to revive you is so long that you will definitely get full killed in the time it would need to revive you. That's just, there's no way that you survive that long. It's like definitely 5 or more seconds or something to get revived by the Reviver Hive. So that's not something I would play in PvP. The Boost Hive, on the other hand, gives you that nice movement speed, which is definitely really good for PvP. My second skill is the Defender Drone. It's kind of obvious why I have that. Defender Drone is pretty damn good for any Berserk build in PvP and PvE. PvE especially. In PvP, it gets destroyed quite fast, because when you pop it and somebody else shoots it, then yeah, it just takes 1 bullet, and after that there's like a 1 second timer, and then it destroys itself automatically. So as soon as you get shot, you are basically immune for 1 more second, and then it's destroyed. But hey, if you just pop that drone as soon as your health if you just pop that drone at the right timing, at the right moment, for example when your armor pops down, for example when your armor depletes, then you just pop the drone and you are basically immortal for 1 second. And even if you didn't kill the guy in that time, you still have the big health pool. So I don't think you can lose 1v1s really with that build, except against the SMG clutch build maybe, but I don't know how popular that is these days, so I don't know. Not many builds can counter that. Because yeah, those Bloodsucker and Unbreakable builds are all nice with their high armor, you know, but there's just a big lack of damage. Sure, it's nice to get 25% armor back, or 20%, I don't know how much Bloodsucker is, when you deplete somebody else's armor, but that only happens once if the other guy is not playing clutch. And I don't know, clutch is only worth for SMG builds, and as I said, I don't think SMG builds are that popular anymore. So I don't really see the point in Bloodsucker. It's like good if you actually have trouble surviving, but I don't know, like building for such a high health and armor pool with like, I don't know, 400k or something and Bloodsucker, I don't know, it's just not beneficial to me. The lack of damage is just too big. Lastly, also wanted to show you the stats. So with the Eagle Bear, I have 25% crit chance, 40 crit damage, and super low headshot damage actually. That's why I would like to have Heraldi, because that would basically be 15% more from Precise and 10% from Heraldi. That would be a nice little buff to my headshot damage for sure. With a P416, I obviously have less crit chance and crit damage, but that's not the focus of the build. However, I have 21.5 all weapon damage and a 46% assault rifle damage bonus. And that's pretty good. It could be way higher if I had better chest and backpack. Like the weapon damage could be easily on 30, and AR damage, if I had the right mod on the chest, could be on 50 or something. So 80% overall is definitely possible. Plus Berserk on top of that, so another 50% in Occupied. And then I also have the 13% armor damage, which is comes definitely in handy, especially against all those armor builds. So that's pretty good. And yeah, that's my PvP build. That's the build I would run if I would PvP, but as I said, I don't really PvP anymore. There's just no point. But I hope you enjoyed the build anyways, and I hope I could help you a little bit with the guide. If you wanna, play something else than most of the players, then that's a pretty good option, I think. And I personally believe that that is a better build than all those armor builds anyways. With that said, as always, thanks for watching. If you like my content and wanna support me, make sure to drop a like and maybe subscribe to the channel. And yeah, see you in my next video. Bye!